Welcome to my channel Limelight Leaks. Please share and subscribe, and hit the bell icon for latest updates.
I was out that night with my friend. Some guys came up and grabbed me from behind. Richard Rawlings has finally told us the truth about his shocking split with Aaron Kaufman. After years of building cars and making magic together, their friendship ended sadly. Now Richard tells us what really happened with Aaron Kaufman. This is the story of one dream and a garage. In Dallas, Texas, two very different men met by accident. Richard Rawlings was a man full of energy who talked fast. He owned a printing business but wanted something more. He loved cars, especially hot rods, and dreamed of making that his life. Aaron Kaufman was different. He was quiet, had a long beard, and was great with his hands. He could fix any broken machine. Kaufman could see beauty in rusty old metal. Where other people saw junk, he saw something amazing waiting to happen. When Rawlings first saw Kaufman, he knew this guy was special. He wasn't just another worker in a garage. Kaufman paid attention to every tiny detail. While others threw away old stuff, Kaufman saw what it could become. He was amazing at building and fixing things. It was like watching an artist work. Every time he welded something or fixed an engine, it was perfect. Rawlings knew this wasn't just being good at something. This was pure talent. Rawlings had an idea. He didn't want just any regular garage. He wanted a place where old cars could become works of art, not just get fixed. He dreamed of bringing dead cars back to life. Kaufman was quiet, but he understood what Rawlings wanted. Together, in 2002, they started Gas Monkey Garage. It quickly became famous with car people. Right from the start, Rawlings and Kaufman were totally different. Rawlings was always moving, thinking about the next big thing. Kaufman was quiet and wanted everything to be perfect. Rawlings liked to push limits and talk to people. Kaufman liked to work alone, making impossible things happen with hard work and careful attention. In the beginning, things were really hard. Rawlings would bring in exciting new projects that had to be done super fast. Kaufman would step up and get it done. Their mix of excitement and never giving up, business smarts and skill, created something special. There was always some fighting between them, but they kept winning. Rawlings kept bringing projects, and Kaufman made sure every car they worked on was incredible. Word started spreading in the car world. Gas Monkey Garage wasn't just a regular car repair shop. It was a place where dreams came true. People talked about the amazing changes that happened there, where old beat-up cars became beautiful and powerful. Soon everyone knew about Gas Monkey Garage, not just people in Dallas. In 2012, scouts from Discovery Channel found this garage where cars were being built. But it was also a place where the wild and daring Rawlings worked with the calm and careful Kaufman. This special chemistry caught the TV network's attention. They decided to start filming, and that changed everything. Fast and loud premiered and people loved it right away. The show wasn't just about cars. It was about two men with totally different styles working together to make something amazing. Fans loved the fast pace, crazy deadlines, and dramatic builds. But they especially loved watching Rawlings and Kaufman work together. The way they worked together was real and intense. Every episode was set up the same way. Rawlings would look for new projects, talking sellers into giving him forgotten treasures. Then Kaufman would turn rough, rusty cars into stunning masterpieces. Their teamwork inspired millions of viewers. Old muscle cars and vintage machines came back to life with the special Gas Monkey Garage touch. As the TV show got more popular, the garage grew bigger too. Gas Monkey Garage went from a small shop in Dallas to a famous name around the world. Viewers everywhere watched car lovers show off their legendary builds under crazy pressure. The unforgettable partnership between these two men was what fans loved most. They didn't just see cars, they saw them as art, showing struggle and the friendship between the two partners. Their impact went way beyond just TV. Young car fans who watched the show got inspired to start fixing and rebuilding cars themselves. Classic American muscle cars became popular again, and custom work became more respected. Gas Monkey Garage wasn't just a business anymore. It stood for creativity, big dreams, and passion. But while all the excitement was happening with bright lights and loud engines, something quieter was going on too. The strong friendship between Rawlings and Kaufman that made their partnership work so well was also getting more stressful. TV brought them fame, But it also brought higher expectations and stress with tighter deadlines and more pressure. Rawlings focused on keeping their success going and chasing bigger and faster opportunities. Kaufman cared more about staying committed to quality work and not letting speed hurt what they made. Their different qualities, which used to make them stronger, started causing fights. While the world saw their success, there were growing problems behind the scenes. They faced the big question of how much longer they could work together as two very different people dealing with fame and high expectations. The story of Gas Monkey Garage is about more than just cars and TV. It's about two guys who met at just the right time. This story is about having a vision, skill, energy, and being patient. It's about the magic that happens when different people work together. Richard Rawlings and Aaron Kaufman didn't just create a garage. They created a story that inspired many people and made a lasting impact on car culture. But like any other story, there's a moment that changes everything. Rawlings and Kaufman faced an uncertain future. Let's dig deeper into the story. When the garage became a stage, the change started slowly. Most people didn't notice it at first. The cameras were rolling, the engines were roaring, and things at the garage seemed the same as before. When filming for the show Fast and Loud began, Gas Monkey Garage still felt like its usual self. Richard Rawlings, with his fast talking and endless energy, looked for cars that seemed too broken to fix. He saw potential where others only saw junk. After making deals, Aaron Kaufman, cool and careful, worked his magic. The way they worked together was perfect. Rawlings was quick, making deals and convincing sellers. Kaufman had skilled hands for bringing cars back to life. Their partnership flowed smoothly and naturally as they both did what they loved. Rawlings finding the cars and Kaufman fixing them with expert skill. When the first shows aired on TV, viewers could feel the excitement. It wasn't just about cars. It was about two men with opposite personalities who somehow clicked. The audience loved the connection between them. One was loud and daring, while the other was quiet and precise. Their teamwork was real, which made it powerful. The show became super popular with millions of viewers watching every week. The Discovery Channel saw it as something very valuable. But more fame brought more pressure. They had to do bigger builds and meet tighter deadlines. Each project had to end with an exciting reveal to keep fans interested. Little by little, what started as a story of skill and love changed into something different. The garage's focus shifted from just cars to being about fun and entertainment. Kaufman noticed the change more than anyone else. He always took his time and believed in being patient. To him, a car wasn't just a machine. It was a creation. He carefully planned every detail of the car before even picking up a tool. His commitment to patience is what made Gas Monkey Garage's reputation. Their cars weren't thrown together quickly. They were built with precision and care. But television wasn't willing to wait. It demanded speed and excitement. Stories needed to be squeezed into a few weeks instead of taking months. The cameras wanted to capture progress constantly. Producers wanted moments filled with suspense, tension, and resolution in each episode. The focus changed from just showing cars to making sure viewers stayed glued to their screens. Kaufman felt overwhelmed by the tight deadlines. He didn't have enough time to properly work on projects that needed months of attention. He had to rush through his work, which meant cutting corners. This made the work feel shallow and took away the joy it used to bring. His passion for building turned into a stressful race to meet impossible time limits. Rawlings thrived in the chaos and found success on television. He could multitask, talk with clients, solve problems, and keep things moving with energy that the cameras loved. The fast pace wasn't a burden for him, it motivated him. Even when things went wrong, he could turn them into captivating moments for television. His smart business sense matched perfectly with the entertainment industry. Every season, the difference in how they saw the new reality became clearer. Rawlings focused on overall growth, marketing, and potential for expansion. On the flip side, Kaufman paid attention to specific problems like loose bolts, rushed welds, and compromised designs. He believed that the heart of Gas Monkey was being lost. The cameras created a new challenge. The once private creative space now felt crowded. Every conversation was being recorded. Frustrations and mistakes were being broadcast. The garage now belonged to the viewers, not the builders. Kaufman found it difficult because he preferred to work in peace and quiet. The loud sounds of production made it hard for him to focus. His desire for perfection clashed with the constant pressure to work quickly and create exciting content. While he wanted to create great works of art, television cared about fast results and surprising twists. As time went on, the tension grew. The garage, which used to be a place of creativity, now felt like a performance stage. The car builds were no longer just practical. They were for show. Gas Monkey's identity was changing because of TV, not its founders. Rawlings fully embraced the fame and opportunities that came with it. He enjoyed being in the spotlight. Kaufman struggled to handle the attention and demands that came with success. He watched his passion for building projects get overshadowed by the pressures of meeting deadlines and managing production schedules. Every rushed project felt like a piece of him was being lost. The show's success gave them fame, recognition, and opportunity, but it also made them question the true values of Gas Monkey. Did it care about skill and creativity, or was it more focused on entertainment and expansion? The answer was different depending on who you asked. Rawlings believed it was a mix of both. Kaufman thought it could only be one or the other. Both men were at a point where they had to make a decision. Their strong connection was being tested in new ways. The trust and harmony between them started to crack. The garage and their relationship had changed. At its core, it was a simple fact. Two men connected by strong feelings had created something amazing. But passion can show up in different ways. One man found excitement in making deals and growing bigger, while the other found joy in achieving perfection through careful and patient work. Cars were being made and sold all over the world. But what people didn't see was the hidden battle in the garage, the fight between choosing speed or quality and putting on a flashy show versus focusing on what really mattered. This was a crucial moment in their relationship when passion crashed into pressure. Often, creative partnerships start well when the people involved agree on things. But when these ideas start to go in different directions, it can lead to fights and broken partnerships. This happened at Gas Monkey Garage, where a shared dream between a craftsman and a businessman turned into a battle between passion and practicality, creativity and time limits, and being real versus being entertaining. For a while, everything was running smoothly. Cars were coming in, builds were going out, and cameras were recording everything in between. But there was trouble brewing under the surface. It started quietly with some creative disagreements, but those fights grew into something that couldn't be ignored. Eventually, it reached a breaking point that shook the garage to its core and left fans shocked. Kaufman wasn't just a mechanic. He was also a skilled craftsman, an artist, and a dreamer with a unique ability to see potential in metal, engines, and design. He was eager to turn his creative sketches into reality, take bold chances, and show that cars could be more than just vehicles. They could be works of art. As time passed, his vision grew beyond what could be shown on TV. He no longer wanted to simply restore cars or make quick changes for entertainment. Instead, he aimed to create revolutionary builds that needed time, precision, and commitment lasting for months. One specific project that perfectly showed this split was the EcoBoost de Tommaso Pantera. Kaufman saw it as a symbol of everything he loved about working with metal and machinery, the intricate designs, new ideas, and the drive to achieve greatness. It wasn't just a car that needed repair. It was a chance to push the boundaries of what could be done in automotive engineering. The Pantera was the perfect starting point for the kind of work he was passionate about, challenging projects that pushed his abilities to the limit and let his imagination run wild. Every day, Kaufman came into the garage with notebooks full of drawings. His ideas were bold, with changes that needed custom-made parts and lots of research. These weren't easy solutions for cameras. They were visions that would need thorough testing and late nights of brainstorming. For him, this was the real heart of the art. But in a TV industry focused on timelines, his visions often faced time constraints. Rawlings had a heavy responsibility as the head of Gas Monkey Garage. He was in charge of keeping the business running smoothly and turning it into a successful TV empire. Networks expected him to provide content regularly and meet deadlines without fail. The pressure was intense, with drama and excitement always surrounding the show. Rawlings had to balance schedules, work with producers, and make sure fans stayed interested in the show. He didn't just have to focus on the cars, but also on the empire built around them. The two men had a major disagreement that was impossible to miss. Kaufman was a perfectionist who wanted lots of time to perfect his work, something that television wouldn't give him. He liked to spend hours perfecting one part of his work until it met his high standards. But TV demanded quick action and timely completion within set time limits. Kaufman's patience and attention to detail was seen as delays by television. On the other hand, Rawlings believed in moving quickly and getting things done, which Kaufman saw as sacrificing quality. The workload increased and Kaufman started feeling exhausted. He started working long days, sometimes up to 18 hours. Kaufman would often work late into the night trying to meet his high standards and the filming requirements for the next day. He looked tired and the joy that used to show on his face began to fade. At the same time, Rawlings was also under lots of pressure, balancing deadlines and network demands with little time to relax. The toll wasn't just on the body, but also on emotions. Easy conversations became difficult. What used to be a friendly atmosphere turned into one filled with tension and frustration. Kaufman wanted to push the limits of design and create something artistic. Rawlings needed projects that fit television's pace and kept viewers engaged. Kaufman reached a breaking point when he realized he was betraying his core beliefs. The garage, which had previously been a place of inspiration, now felt suffocating. The cars lined up for filming no longer seemed like exciting projects, but rather constraints. What had brought him happiness before now felt limiting. He thought about the future and saw rushed projects, missed opportunities, and a direction that didn't align with the skilled worker he wanted to be. During a very busy time making a TV show, Kaufman made up his mind. The deadlines were approaching fast and he felt overwhelmed. He realized he couldn't keep going without sacrificing who he truly was. Kaufman had a decision to make: stick with the security and fame of TV or leave to follow his passion. He had to choose between playing it safe or being true to himself. In 2017, something big happened. Kaufman made a choice that would have a huge impact. His leaving surprised everyone in the car industry. Fans of the partnership were shocked. How could a team that seemed so strong suddenly fall apart? The reason wasn't about betrayal or anger, but about two different ideas that could no longer work together. Kaufman saw it as a way to stay true to his art. Rawlings viewed it as the start of a new period with its own challenges. To the fans who had followed their journey, it marked the end of a special time. Their different creative ideas caused a split in their partnership. Even though the garage stayed open, it lacked the special harmony of earlier times. During this period, Gas Monkey Garage story wasn't only about working on cars. It involved the balance between following your passion and handling stress, as well as clashes that happen when different creative ideas crash into each other. Kaufman leaving served as a lesson that sometimes even when things are going well, the hardest choice is to leave in order to stay true to yourself. When the garage lost its beating heart, the news was shocking and unexpected, causing a major impact on the car industry. Aaron Kaufman, known for his skilled hands and intelligence, was leaving Gas Monkey Garage, a place where he had played a crucial role for many years. Their partnership had resulted in countless successful projects and a popular TV show. But now everything was falling apart. Fans were deeply affected by the news. It felt like a close family member had died. They had watched these two men fix rusted cars and turn them into something amazing since they were kids. The news caused a huge reaction on social media, with fans expressing shock and sadness from all over the world. People were confused, upset, and filled with unanswered questions. How could this iconic partnership on automotive TV come to such a sudden end? But below the surface and away from the cameras, the truth was more complicated than most people realized. Gossip and rumors spread through the industry, each with its own explanation. Some said there were money issues, suggesting that Aaron felt he wasn't getting enough credit for his work at Gas Monkey. Others believed there were disagreements over creative vision. Aaron, who appreciated precision and artistry, may have felt restricted in expressing his skills. There were rumors of intense arguments happening in private. Unresolved tensions started coming to the surface more often and with more intensity. Richard Rawlings and Aaron had a partnership based on their opposite personalities. Richard was talkative and had big ideas, while Aaron was quiet and mechanically skilled. At first, their differences worked well together. They were like a powerful force working as one. But as time passed, the energy that once fueled the partnership turned into too much conflict to handle. Industry experts were careful when talking about times when the two men couldn't agree on the future of the garage. Richard believed that TV, business deals, and the entertainment world needed speed and excitement. Aaron found happiness in taking time to give each build the attention and care it needed. The tension between them grew as they continued filming, and the very success of the show started to drive them apart. Richard eventually admitted that their opposite personalities, which used to help them, had now become a major problem. The show magnified every argument and any small difference in their ideas. When they were just two men working in a garage in Dallas, life was simple. But once they found themselves in the spotlight of a television empire, the natural rhythm that made their work unique sometimes couldn't handle the pressure. While fans saw joy and energy on the screen, there were hidden feelings of frustration and sacrifices behind the scenes. Aaron found that as time went on, the pressure he felt became more intense. He used to enjoy restoring old vehicles, but now he felt trapped. Meeting deadlines became more important than being creative. Creating drama was more important than being accurate. The work that used to bring him joy became a burden. His satisfaction in his work was slowly disappearing because of a constant demand for speed. It was clear that he was stuck in a place where his artistic side was being crushed. He walked away, which surprised people, but he didn't dwell on it. Aaron quickly moved forward and started a new business in Dallas called Arclight Fabrication. This new venture reflected his true self, a builder, dreamer, and craftsman who valued doing things right. The shop was calm, peaceful, and focused solely on creating quality work without the distraction of cameras or time limits. Arclight quickly became the space Aaron had always wanted. He worked on elaborate projects he had been dreaming about for years. His focus was on making high-quality aftermarket parts for old Ford F-100 trucks. Each piece was made with precision to not only work well, but also to make the trucks a blend of traditional and modern performance. Aaron made sure each item that left his shop was perfect and had his full attention. Aaron found freedom in his garage. He was in charge and made all the decisions without giving in to anyone. The garage wasn't just for fun anymore. It was for doing great work. Because of this freedom, he remembered why he started working with tools in the first place. He found joy in it again. But while he was working on his future plans, many fans were wondering if there would ever be a reunion between Richard and Aaron. People were curious if the two men who had made a big impact on automotive television would get back together. The idea of them coming back together was always a possibility. Richard and Aaron both mentioned the possibility, vaguely without promising anything specific. Their individual achievements had freed them from financial burdens and time constraints, allowing them to focus solely on their interests. Car enthusiasts and dreamers around the world are eagerly waiting for the possibility of two highly skilled and experienced individuals joining forces to create something truly remarkable. They believe that by combining their talents, knowledge, and passion for extraordinary car builds, they could surpass even their previous greatest achievements. Currently, they are going down different paths. One focused on being charismatic on television and driven in business, while the other focuses on detailed craftsmanship and the inner workings of machines.